Chapter 1. Effective Study Skills. A synopsis. Effective study skills have to be applied in order for you to improve. It is not enough to simply entertain the thought of studying. You have to actually do it. The skills, effective study skills, have to be applied in order for you to improve. It is not enough to simply entertain the thought of studying. You have to actually do it. This is the central idea of this book. All that follows depends on this single concept. There's a saying that goes like this: practice does not make perfect. Perfect practice makes perfect. If you would like to be a success, take this saying to heart. There is value in a schedule. Prior to you even thinking about the process of studying, you must create a schedule. If you do not have an agenda or plan for studying, then you want not of any way of allocating your valuable time when the unexpected arises. An effective, well-thought-out schedule can be a lifesaver. It is up to you to learn how to produce a schedule that meets your demands. Revise it if necessary, and most important, and abide by it. A schedule saves time. All schedules should be made with the theme that they can be revised. An effective agenda keeps you from drifting off course. An effective schedule, if properly handled, assigns time where time is required, but you have got to want to do it. Making each hour count. A schedule should take into account each class, laboratory, lecture, social event, and other work in which you engage. You have to center on the other free time available and how you'll use it. Create a weekly schedule and block off the 24-hour day in 1-hour increments. Indicate times for classes, labs, lectures, social and work time. Also block off a point for sleeping every day. With what is remaining, plan time for study or recreation. This gives you a rough guideline of the time available. Naturally, you will be able to revise your agenda as things come up. When is the right time to study? The problem of when to study is vital. A great guideline is that studying should be carried out only when you're rested, alert, and have planned for it. Last-minute studying just before a class is normally a waste of time. Chapter 2. Exam Survival Tips. Synopsis: if you lay out exactly what you need to do, what you need to have, what you've learned, and what you need to study, and what your worries may be, you'll be one step closer to being extremely prepared for your exam. Here is an example. An exam layout. Things to ask yourself. 1. Objectives. Intent of exams. Benefits on an exams. Pitfalls. Approaching revision. Other preparation. Strategies and techniques during exam. Managing stress. Control over exam experience. 2. Intent of exams. Check your knowledge of class content. Be sure that work handed in is completely your own. 3. Benefits on an exams. Don't give long or detailed answers. Stay brief and concise. Less in-depth research required. Less detailed references. Testers more sympathetic to scrawled handwriting. Small grammatical errors. Spelling. Forgotten details. 4. Pitfalls. Leaving studying till last minute. Reading through notes again and again. Writing notes out again and again. Writing out essays and learning them by heart. Procrastinating studying. Lack of motivation. Beginning to panic. Getting bored easily. Too many additional responsibilities. Stopping studying before the process is done. 5. Approaching studying. Have a studying mindset for the entire semester or year. Use time. Carefully keep a positive mentality. Work with other people. Inquire about help. 6. Approaching studying. Use memory triggers. Study by ear. Stay healthy. Use past test paper/sample papers. 7. Other preparation. Find out basic data. Get the exam instructions. Plan out your time. Beforehand practice. 8. Techniques during exams. First things, picking out exam questions. What if I go blank? 9. Common pitfalls in exam. Doing goofy things. Answering too few questions. poor use of time, tell all that you understand about a subject deserting structure, and the usual essay writing methods 10. Managing stress, my main worries about the exam are, and then write them down 11. Have control over exam experience. Do not blow the exam out of proportion. Chapter 3, the process of study. A synopsis. Time is the most valuable resource a student has. It's also one of the most wasted of resources. The agenda you create should direct you in how to allocate the available time in the richest manner. The process. Time is the most valuable resource a student has. It's also one of the most wasted of resources. The agenda you create should direct you in how to allocate the available time in the richest manner. Adhering to your schedule can be hard. Do not waste away valuable time. Putting off study is the easiest thing in the world. It is up to you to abide by the schedule you developed. A great deal of your success in high school or college depends upon this simple truth. You are able to study anywhere. Obviously, some places are better than others. Libraries, study lounges, or private rooms are best. Above all, the place you pick to study shouldn't be distracting. Distractions can expand, and the first thing you know, you are out of time and out of luck. Make deciding a good physical environment a part of your study habits. Everyone has thinking skills, but few use them efficiently. Effective thinking skills can't be studied, but has to be built up over a period of time. Great minds see possibilities where other people see only dead ends. If you are not a great thinker, start now by acquiring habits that make you ask yourself questions as you read. Talk to other students who you feel are great thinkers. Ask them what it is they do when they think critically or creatively. Frequently, you are able to collect useful insights to help you become a better thinker. Chapter 4. Studying is important, but so is having fun. A synopsis. Studying is important, but so is having fun. There are more productive things to do at the end of classes than visiting, daydreaming, or just plain goofing off. Use that time to study for that big test. Studying is important. Studying is important, but so is having fun. There are more productive things to do at the end of classes than visiting, daydreaming, or just plain goofing off. Use that time to study for that big test. If you use your time wisely, you'll have all the time in the world to have fun outside of class. Just because there is a day without any classes, just before exams, does not mean that you have to study. I have never seen anybody study for much more than an hour straight, not to mention an entire day. Concentrate only on the exams you will take on your first day. That narrows things down to 1 or 2 tests, something much more manageable, that leaves you with plenty of time to do something more amusing. By limiting yourself on reading day, you are able to keep yourself relatively stress-free and still have time for all kinds of other stuff. Look on the bright side. Exam days equals short days equals lots of play time. You cannot have more than 2 exams in one day. The latest they end is 9 p.m. That's a great deal of time to hang out and do something you want to do. Studies have shown that insanity can be caused by too much time looking at old notes. Use half the hours you spend sleeping, playing video games. I ming folks about how much your final exam is going to suck, and use it to study. This way you're getting your studying in and still having fun. You're balanced. Do not overstudy. The more you study, the more distressed you will be when you actually take the exam. Think of it this way: you've been going over this stuff for a while now. You have to understand some of it already. If you are going to sit down and study, make a list of what is going to be on the exam. Then go ahead and skip everything that you already know. There is no reason to go over something you already know. Now, the stuff your memory is a bit fuzzy on, or never really got in the first place, is another story. You may want to take a look at that. The less you cram, the better the likelihood is you will remember it come time to take the exam, which is all you are really trying to achieve. Take study breaks. You cannot sit and study for hours on end. It is not possible, and probably not healthy either. Instead, quit over preparing for exams. Every now and then, do something, if only just to break up the monotony. Even if you are studying with friends, stop every on occasion for something else. You do not have to do much, just something else. You could eat, go get drinks, go check your mail, play cards, just something that's totally unrelated to what it is you are studying. Also, at some point, you are going to be taking a major test. You're not going to want to come right back and study for another one. If you prefer to get through exams with as little stress and the best results possible, then you should acquire techniques that give you the best grades for the least amount of work. That way, you are able to enjoy the rest of your day. Chapter 5, Success by Test. A synopsis. Answering easy questions first is the most effective technique. If you stumble over hard questions for too long a time, you may not be able to complete the exam. Objective examination questions usually contain one or more keywords. A success. Answering easy questions first is the most effective technique. If you stumble over hard questions for too long a time, you may not be able to complete the exam. Objective examination questions usually contain one or more keywords. A keyword or groups of words are those on which the truth or falsity of a statement hinges. Learn to pick out the keywords in the statement that define the meaning. If a statement has two clauses, one of which is false, the whole statement is false. Commonly, two-statement true-false questions are either both true or both false. Multiple-choice questions are basically true-false questions arranged in groups. Generally, only one alternative is correct. Your job is to pick the alternative that's more true than the others. Read multiple-choice questions the same way as for true-false. Eliminate obvious false choices. The techniques used to answer true-false and multiple-choice questions apply to matching questions as well. Always scan the entire list of alternatives before matching any. As in the other types of questions, try to identify key words in each list and test them. Completion questions call for you to provide a word or phrase. When you run into completion questions, select your words carefully. If you do not know the answer, give it your best guess, as frequently such responses get at least partial credit. Planning your time in answering essay questions is more significant than in objective-type tests. The common rule isn't to get carried away on one or two questions to the extent that you can't answer those other questions in the time allotted. Read through the entire examination first. Get a feel for the questions you're expected to answer. If the exam permits you to choose from a number of questions, make sure to number your answers precisely to match the questions. When you follow directions for an essay exam, pay attention to the key words the teacher has included. Such words as list, describe, compare and contrast, and outline have special meaning. Do not write around the question, but answer it directly. If a question asks you to list something, do not write a narrative about it. Answering essay questions directly is always the most effective policy. After running down the list of questions to be answered, choose the ones you know most about. A beneficial idea is to develop an outline of your answers. The outline will help you recall crucial ideas and facts to be included in your answer. Good handwriting is an absolute necessity. If your cursive writing is really difficult to read, try printing instead. Most teachers appreciate clear handwriting. Grammar, punctuation, and spelling also matter. Well-written, grammatically correct responses almost always receive higher grades than poorly written, grammatically incorrect answers, even though the answers themselves are the same. Wrapping up, The study skills given here hinge on one thing, and that's your willingness to want to improve and do well in school. If you genuinely do not want to make the effort and sacrifice, no amount of suggestions, tips, or outlines will be able to assist much. You're the one who's responsible for your education, and effective study skills can help you. So utilize these techniques and always work smart, not hard.